So hello and welcome to this MAN TGA mod. Now we're already at the MAN dealer, so we're not going to do a traditional sort of intro, but let's get straight into having a look at all the customization you can do in this mod. Okay then, so here we are inside the truck dealer. So it's a second truck along, as you can see here. You can see the difference between new and old shape. Look at that. It's very subtle, but it's very effective when all put together in one package. But starting off with the cabins, there are three to choose from, as usual with MANs. You've got the XL, the XLX, and personally my favourite, the XXL, because of all these windows. I mean, it makes the cabin so airy, and it's just absolutely massive. I mean, if you have a look on the inside, the headroom is insane. I mean, if you look at it for the top of the seat, and they are massive truck seats. I mean, just look at the size of it. It makes the seats look tiny. But anyway, onto the chassis. So there's mainly two different types of sort of front end that you can have on this. You've got the sort of normal road going version. Then you've also got the heavy duty version, which you got all the sort of the towing points down here. And if you were going on like off-road work, that's what you'd want. Not sure why you'd have a heavy low deck, but there you go. But yeah, loads of different types, 6x2s, 6x4s, 8x4s. I mean, just look at that, it's a bit of a beast. We'll just go for the standard 4x2 for now. Onto the engines, you've got everything from a 310 horsepower Euro 3 engine with 1500 newton meters of torque, about, or thereabout, all the way up to a Euro 3 V10, 660 horsepower, which I'm going to go for today. I have to say, I'm not going to turn the opportunity to drive a V10. Onto the transmissions. Now, there are a few automatics in here, but obviously you can use a manual if you want. You got the MAN Tipmatic, 12 speeds, overdrive. So if you're doing quite a lot of motorway drives, you probably want that. But more town driving, probably go for some of these. Then you also got some 16 speeds here if you're taking heavier loads and need the extra gears. Onto the interior, it's very plasticky and very basic and blocky in here. I mean, just look at that. But it's basically some minor cosmetic changes with these. Nothing too sort of in your face. Black dashboard, grey dashboard. You can see the difference there. With this one, you get the black trim down there, and the silver background, and then basically they swap. Here you can add some wood, and then you can add the silver if you want. Personally, I'd just go for this. It does the job. A few different colours here, nothing too out of the ordinary. I mean, you've got Green Fury, which to me just seems a bit broken. I don't know about this bit down here. If you just remove that, yeah, fairly weird paint skin, to be honest. There you go. 5-star, that's really low res. Heavy haulage. So yeah, there are a few skins in here if that's what you want. But yeah, we'll just go for white for now. Look at the amount of options here. So starting off with sun visor, you can add your own text on here if you want to, but just for this review I didn't have time to do that. Light bars, beacons, standard stuff, cab light, got some horn slots on the side, which is always nice when the mods do that. Keeps the top all clear. Start around the back. Actually, we've got some spoiler options, 6 in total. I mean, everything that you'd need there. I mean, just look at that. It's absolutely massive, this truck. Down here we've got the side skirts. No V8 option here, like on the or equivalent to a V8 sort of side exhaust option like you do on the more modern MANs. So I don't know, they are a bit basic, to be honest, the side skirts. I'm not sure they fully work with the truck, these lines, but they're okay, I suppose. Better than just a flat metal piece. You can change the lights to give them, or modernize them a bit. Got the wheel chocks back here. I've double. You can paint the back here. Even some custom lights, which, to be honest, I don't really think this truck is that much of a show truck, so I don't think that works that well. You can also paint the top of the arches if you want, or just completely remove them. Down here, you've obviously got the lower grille guard if you want a bit of trim going around there, but it does sort of stick into the body. It's not that well implemented, to be fair. You can change these sort of fog lights down here. I do think the sort of clearer lights do make it a lot more modern. I don't really like the yellow. I don't think it works that well, especially with this. I don't think that works, but that looks really nice. It really does bring it up to date. Shame that you can't really change this here. I don't like those. This indicator to clear. You can change that as well. Look at that. It's so cool. Look at this. Whoa, the detail on this is insane. I do think it looks better white. There we go. That looks a lot better white. A lot more clean. You got the country plate on there. Some slots for lights. All your plates, ADR, TIR, things like that. Oh, look at that. Paint that in there. I do like it plastic, actually. Gives a nice shape, but so does the paint. So you can go fully plastic if you're going for a sort of a budget truck. And look at that down here. Only very subtle. But if you look at this sort of pinstripe here, you can change that to chrome if you want. Which does look, again, very subtle, but does make a bit of a difference, especially when you're further away. I mean, if you go for like a black truck or grey, that might look really, really nice. Up here, you can add loads of lights onto the grille, and then also change the style. I mean, not sure what that's all about. I recognise that brand from Farming Simulator. So maybe like it's just a rebadged MAN. Don't know. Bit weird. Does look unusual white or fully painted. But yeah, I've never seen that before. Look at that. Fairly unusual. Further up, you have got just more interior stuff in there. We'll come to that in a bit. And I think that's pretty much it. You can paint the surrounds. You can add a tint to it. Look at that. Also cover these up if you want, but I don't know why you would do that. There's all the mirror options, wind deflectors. That's pretty much it. But if we go onto the inside, you can change, well, you can add curtains in here, which I do like to have. It just sort of separates the bedding area from the driving area. I also think it makes the cabin look a lot bigger by splitting everything up. You can also have a blanket back there, curtains on the side, and some decals on the window, which they do block a bit of your view. I mean, especially that one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So now I'm going to do a time lapse of me building this truck to my spec. Okay then, so here it is, all fully configured. I did go for that Steyr sort of badging on the front, just to be different. I also went for the V10, as you can probably hear. Does sound good. It sounds like a race engine. But yeah, 660 horsepower from this is quite a lot. On the interior, the first thing that you notice when you get in is you sit like this. Now, you do have to lower your seat quite a bit, but even so, when you do, the windscreen just looks absolutely massive. I mean, look at that. You can't even see the top of it from where you sit, and it just gives you a really, really good view out, which is one of the reasons why I really do love this cabin. I mean, and the amount of windows and sort of visibility that you get is it's the best. It really is the best. But down at the dials, I am finding them quite hard to read, even at this distance, just because how tiny the font is. Obviously, you got the rev counter on the right, and then the speedo on the rev counter on the left, speedo on the right. Below that, you got your fuel and all temperatures and pressures and all that stuff. You got the gear on the digital display. Cycle through that, you got your economy info that doesn't display anything, and then you got, I'm guessing that's cruise control. But one thing to note is that the info display isn't backlit as far as I can tell, so it is kind of difficult to read. Down on the stalk, what I really do like is the wiper settings. Now there's 3, that's sort of intermediate, this one's slow, and then you've got full speed, and it's very easy to see what mode you're on, so you're not just guessing like you are in most trucks. We've also got window controls down there, but obviously they don't work. Radio, all the buttons, aircon and stuff. You have to have a sat nav because there isn't a built-in one. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the interior. So let's get on the road. We do have a 11-ton reservoir tank, which works pretty well with this truck actually. The white and the white with the white wheels as well. Don't usually go for a spec like this, but I thought why not with this one. Let's see what it's like started off in 6th. It should be fine with the amount of power it's got. Yeah, completely fine. Yeah, the visibility when you're turning out, there's hardly any blind spots. Well, there's less than you would in a sort of most trucks. There are quite a few blind spots, but it's not too bad. I mean, if you don't go for the wind deflectors, you'd be completely able to see what's coming over from the right. And in something like the Scania, when you're sort of pulling out, it can be kind of hard to see because of the really large mirrors on them, what's coming. But with this, they're positioned in a way that they don't block that much view, and they're not too thick either, but you still get a really good view of what's behind you. So they're not too small, but then they're not too big, probably perfectly sized, and they're also quite high up, so again you're not going to hit anything from below like a hidden car, or as I just crash into a car, or that car crashes into me, I'm not too sure. But yeah, look at the power from this, right up to the speed limit straight away. But yeah, you see what I mean about the display? It can be kind of hard to read from a glance. But the backlit sort of red instruments are really nice. I really do like them. If we just turn the cruise control on, I'm guessing this truck would have cruise control in real life. I'm not too sure. It is around 20 years old, maybe a bit older. Let's have a look from the outside. Look at that. Does look kind of weird not having the MAN logo on. Still looks good though. But yeah, back on the inside, you do get quite a lot of wind noise with this. I am noticing, probably because of this massive front windscreen and the sort of huge area that this truck has to cut through because of its size. But again, the visibility when you're going through the countryside, you get such a good perspective of everything, and that's one of the reasons why I chose an MAN to do. I'm not sure if some of you were here for this series, but for when I did a big series around Iceland with Pro Mods, that's one of the reasons why I chose a MAN, because you get a better view out. But yeah, this V10, it's really powerful and it is actually quite quiet. I mean, we're down to currently 68. Look how quickly that's going down. That's going to be at 50 soon. We'll see what it's like in a bit. But we've got the Optical gearbox with the overdrive, well, not Optical, the overdrive gearbox. What's it called? The Tipmatic gearbox. I mean, we're currently doing the speed limit, which is 56 miles an hour or 90 kilometers an hour, which is pretty much average around Europe. And we are currently doing around 1300 RPM. As I said, it's really quiet and it just settles down fine. I mean, this trailer isn't that heavy like compared to most trailers, so that's probably not the most realistic example, but yeah, it hauls really well on the sort of motorway. Again, because obviously motorways can be a bit boring, you get such a good view out that it sort of makes it a little bit more entertaining, especially when there's stuff like this really good sunrise now. And if you got a really good skybox as well, maybe like a mod or autumn mod that I've got, you get to take advantage of that more. I believe we're coming up to Zotac now, the Scania factory. Scania chassis factory on the left, I think. But yeah, definitely have a look at this mod if you haven't already. I mean, it's really good to drive. I mean, it's really responsive. If we just change down some gears, let's see what this thing's like. So from 90, let's try and go up to 100. There we go, 100. So if you have to pass someone, you can build up speed pretty quickly. From 100 though, 60 miles an hour, it doesn't have much left, but to be honest that doesn't really matter. Let's see what we can get it to down here. Bit of lag there. On 20 roughly. Slow it back down. Yeah, the economy goes straight back up. But yeah, I think around 60 litres every 100 mile, which is not too bad. I mean, I was just driving the Scania on a time lapse recently, the sort of previous gen Scania, not the next gen, and it did around 65, but saying that most of the mileage was on sort of country roads, which aren't the best for fuel economy. But even still, for an older truck, it does pretty well, and for such a big engine as well. Let's turn. Oh no, we're going straight on. Let's do a quick handling test around the roundabout. It does seem to lean quite a bit, this truck. Not as sort of agile as a Scania or something. But yeah, the power delivery is really nice. I don't think it's super instant, the power. you sort of get it around 1500 RPM, and then after around 2000 there isn't much left of it. But you do get that really nice power delivery between there. Yeah, really good. As long as you can keep the revs between there, you've got plenty of power. Right, where are we parking it in there? By the looks of it. Let's see what this thing's like to reverse. But yeah, the 6x2 6x2 mid lift I went for, if you're wondering. Probably not the straightest. No, I think I'm a bit over. But yeah, you do get 2 reverse gears also, R, M, and then just R. I think that'll do. And it turns off. Yeah, pretty nice truck. So there we have it. Thank you for watching that. If you have enjoyed it, please do give me a like, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Goodbye.